ridiculous.
Well, here's the thing.
Maybe. Sometimes.
Tell me about this. I want to know more.
Oh, yeah. No.
Holy cow.
We've had a lot of fun.
So last week we had a rerun episode because of an emergency in the family. Nicole, what was going on?
Yeah, it was a little unexpected. We obviously, being an emergency, but
Yeah.
my husband woke up with some stomach pains and not, what we would typically expect the reason to be. And so, yeah, he was not doing well. And I thought, okay, well, we were trying to avoid the emergency room because, it's just, that you're going to be in there for, a good day, right?
Right.
It's just, you're not getting out in any reasonable amount of time. So, So we waited to see if the pain would go away, gave him some Tylenol, it wasn't going away, all the sort of self-medicating kind of stuff that WebMD tells you to do.
You were frantically Googling.
Of course I was. You know me. And so we're like, okay, well, let's just go to urgent care because, once again, trying to avoid the emergency room.
Sure.
And by this time, he was in a lot of pain and really could barely walk. Oh. So we really should have gone straight to the ER, but we didn't. So we rolled up to the urgent care and the nurse actually just stopped us at the door. She's like, you need to go to the ER. This is not going to help you. So we turned around. Got
At least she saved you from waiting there, huh?
Yeah.
Yes, she did, thankfully, because that would have been a long haul too. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we rolled up to the ER and I don't know, our big kind of area hospital here was the hospital that did the first successful heart transplant. So it's a very, reputable hospital and, you're going to get good care there. So
yes.
However, their emergency room, oh my Lord, I have to say, it was just chaos down there. I guess that's with most are, right? I mean,
yes,
it's kind of a place where everybody convenes. And you get all sorts of things.
Yes.
And they're in the process of building a whole new building with a new ER department, which is just sorely needed. But this one is just very small and, not a lot of seating. And anyway, we were there and they just couldn't figure out what was wrong initially. And so they're like, well, we'll keep you overnight for observation and, run some tests. And well, let's just say one night turned into 4.
Oh, my.
So it took, he was there for 4 nights and 5 days. And wow, I got to know that hospital really well.
It's worth it when you get answers, right?
It is. But, unfortunately, they couldn't really find the crux of the issue. I mean, there's some speculation, there was some hypotheses, but nobody really knows. So they have to take a deeper look, literally, and then hopefully come up with an answer. But it's not life-threatening, which is a good thing.
That's good.
So yeah, it just kind of was a real glitch in our week. We weren't expecting that. I mean, we were kind of just expecting to go and get some medicine and go back home. But
that sort of thing takes over your life when you have somebody in the hospital and you just start living there and know everything and where everything is and what the hours are of the places where you can get something to eat and which elevator works best. And
you lose track of night and day.
It
just kind of all melds into one. And in this hospital, they don't have visiting hours. It's 24/7.
Oh, that's nice.
So it's nice. It's great if you want to be there with your person. But if you've got a roommate and people want to be there as well, it's a little chaotic. So it was definitely, my husband, interestingly enough, at 48 years old, has never ever had to stay in the hospital in his life. So this was his first hospital experience. And first hospital experience in America. So that was another thing. But no, it was good. It was very positive and I mean,
except for the not getting an answer thing.
Pardon?
Except for the not getting an answer
not
thing.
getting the answer. I mean, other than that, it was like, I said to him, kind of like, this is a forced vacation because here you up on the 8th floor and you got a view of the whole, valley and, you've got this huge giant windows to look out of. You've got TV and Wi-Fi. This
you
bed
Canadians
that
do realize that we don't have socialized medicine here, which means you have to pay for all that, right?
Yeah, that does come out of, that's not free.
Makes it slightly less fun.
That is true. We're still waiting for that bill. But no, it was great. It was very, a great hospital to be in.
Yeah.
So he's home now and on the couch and definitely not getting the type of attention he got at the hospital. He's having a little withdrawals from that, but
yeah.
So to be continued. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I hope everything gets solved at some point in the least painful and disruptive way possible.
Yes, so do we. I mean, and I'm just, I don't have time for this. I'm busy.
Yeah, exactly.
You got podcasts to do. Come on, man.
Podcasts and conferences and,
That's right.
It's a busy month. So, yeah. But anyway.
Well,
I'm
glad to
happy
hear
to
that.
be back.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're glad you're back.
We missed you.
Hanging out with you both. So let's get the podcast started, should we?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Well, hello and welcome to Parenting Roundabout, a weekly podcast about the things that parents are talking about, obsessing about, and complaining about right now. I'm Nicole Erdix, and with me today are Terri Morrow.
Hello.
And Catherine Haleko.
Hi.
And today on the podcast, we're going to be talking about siblings on our speed round, shout out some stuff we like on the Roundabout Roundup, and do some shameless self-promotion. But first, I actually saw, I think it was just like a graphic or something. It wasn't an article, but it was listing off the different kinds of parents that you can be. And of course, we've all heard of the tiger mom, right? That was kind of a big thing a couple of years ago. And then came the helicopter parent, or maybe that was first. I can't remember. The parent that hovers.
Who knows? Yeah.
And then there was the potted plant parent. I think we talked about that at one point on our
We did.
speed round. The parent that just kind of watches from a distance. Then there's two more that I didn't even know existed. The lawnmower parent, who mows down anybody that stands in the way of their child. And then the elephant parent. I still haven't quite figured that one out yet. I have to do some more research on that one.
Yeah, well, it's like a parlor game now amongst writers,
Mm-hmm.
I got a deadline. What new parenting type can I make a click-baity name for?
Right.
I am so impatient with that. Yeah, but I could do it if I needed to.
That's our topic today. What kind of parenting styles?
We need to introduce some more to this ridiculous tendency of labeling parents.
We do.
Yes. I was thinking today as I was driving behind a utility truck of some kind that perhaps we could label a janitor parent as the person who goes around cleaning up all their kids' messes.
Oh, yeah.
I have been that. We could talk about perhaps a parrot parent who just repeats all the latest things they've heard on the internet without really even thinking about them. But if you saw it on the internet, it must be true. Mm-hmm. And you will just spout it out to everybody that you can find.
Yes.
Whether it makes sense or not. This is one that feels close to my heart, I think. A zombie parent who is a parent who needs way more sleep. I am often that parent. The kid could be doing anything, and the parent will just be sitting there staring into a cup of coffee. And hoping the child does not make too much noise. Do whatever you want to do. Go do it. I just don't wake mom.
Right.
I've been that many, many times. I thought we could pose an electric blanket parent as somebody who covers their child with protective technology, like GPS and a camera in the backpack and, all sorts of monitoring items, a microchip and just all sorts of things to keep their kids safe. Internet tracker so they can see everything their kid did. They're just smothering their kid with electronic protection.
Yeah.
And warmth.
and warmth, but artificial warmth.
Right.
Warmth that comes from wires and electricity. Do they still make electric blankets? I always had an electric blanket when I was a kid. So. Yeah. And I would also, of course, propose freelance writer parent, which is a parent who is constantly thinking of things to call other parents to get 750 words out of to meet a deadline.
The parent who sits on the couch continuously with a laptop.
Yes, that is definitely me.
Parents from the couch.
Yes. When she's not falling asleep on it. Catherine, I was thinking of you if we want to call somebody something like an Uber parent, which is a parent who's always, transporting their kids from one place to another.
Yes.
You have been that parent.
I have been that parent for sure. Yes. And I was also thinking about the ant parent, like as in A-N-T, the little insect, that you're just working. You're working. You don't want to lead. Like, you don't want to be the boss, but you'll just stay in the background and get the work done. And you want your child to work alongside you and not have to tell them what to do, but they should just know.
They should just know to pick up that big crumb that's 5 times their size and take it to the nest.
Exactly.
And watch out for the lady with the sponge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, be careful of her. She's dangerous. Or the other one was hot air balloon parent. You want to just gently float overhead and keep an eye on things.
That's a nice one.
Yes.
But also I think that a feature of that parent would possibly be that you're trying to draw all the attention to yourself instead of your child.
Well, I was thinking, does this, being a hot air parent, come with the ability to drop a sandbag on somebody's head when they need it?
That might be useful.
This is immediately where my mind goes to. Mm-hmm. Is there a weapon on this hot air balloon?
Right.
I will watch serenely from a distance, but if my kid's in trouble, it takes a long time to land a hot air balloon. I need projectiles.
You can't steer it very well, so you're going to have to be pretty laid back about the whole thing.
You might drift way far away and then have no idea what's going on.
Yeah. So you got to be okay with that.
Yes. How about you, Nicole? What parent archetypes have you identified?
I thought of the bungee jump parent. The parent who's like, really extreme and does like extreme things with their kids.
Yes.
Make you feel really guilty because you're not doing all those like hiking and kayaking and adventuring.
Yes, that is a good one.
Or whatever it is, like you're just doing something to the extreme, like, 5 dance classes a week or I don't know, like it's just,
that's
the parent
very good.
Yeah. Kind of.
See, I was thinking the bungee jump parent would be a parent that says, no, I'm leaving you to do exactly what you want. I'm leaving. I'm not watching you. Boink, here I am back. What are you doing? What are you doing?
That's a good one. That's a good one. See, I'm thinking more like the extreme.
Yes, extreme parenting.
Yours is, Terri, maybe yours is more the boomerang, which I know is what...
There you go.
What they call,
that's it, the boomerang parent.
That's what they call the adult children who come back.
Yes.
Which we've also discussed.
Right.
Yeah.
But we can call parents that.
A parent could be a boomerang also.
Yeah.
Especially if the kid goes, go away, and then you're like, here I am.
Right.
How are you?
Yeah.
Yes. My son would like me to be a boomerang parent. Go away. Stop talking to me. You're
what about the Facebook
me.
Parent?
Okay.
What is that?
The one who tries to make everything look good on the surface, even though things are falling apart in real life. The parent just kind of wants it. Everything's fine. Everything's great.
It's kind of like the duck, where they look like they're swimming all gently and serenely, but underneath the feet are going.
That's excellent. The duck
paddle.
Parent. Yes.
I mean, that's
Paddling
not something
furiously.
I made up, but people have talked about that about ducks.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Don't know what's happening under
quacked.
the surface.
That's right.
Right. The iceberg. Parent.
Maybe the ugly duckling parent. Be the one person in your super ambitious school who wears the wrong things and has the wrong sunglasses or whatever. But you would be super cool if you found your right place.
That's right. Nice.
Just need to find your pond.
Yeah, what? The pillow parent.
Yes.
Providing
how would that
providing the soft landing.
The soft landing or smothering.
I was going to say.
I was thinking more the negative.
Yes. But a soft landing is good, too. A trampoline parent,
Yeah.
providing a good landing, but then launching you right back out.
There you go.
Trying to be that. I'm trying to be that right now.
The kid's clinging to the bottom of the trampoline with all his might.
Right.
I will not bounce. No.
Here, let me jump for
scary.
you. I'll help you.
So then you go on the trampoline and jump, so it jostles them.
Right.
Exactly.
Just for a little extra boost.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel sometimes like perhaps I'm the let's call it maybe the circus clown parent. Basically, is constantly told by my kid, "You're embarrassing me. You're embarrassing me. You're embarrassing me. My friends can see that. Stop that. Stop that." And it's like, well, I'm just being me. I'm just doing my thing. I'm just whistling in the supermarket. What's the problem? But no, I might as well have big floppy shoes and a red nose and orange hair.
Oh, what about the beauty pageant parent?
Oh,
The one that
sounds scary.
everything has to be like name brand and tickety boo and
it's all about the look, not the style, not the substance.
Exactly.
Exactly.
All right. What do we call the parent who's all about the substance and could care less about the style? What's the opposite of a beauty pageant parent?
It's like the chess club
it's all
parent
about the
or
filling.
something.
There you go.
No, what's the lollipop that has the bubble gum in the middle? It's all about the filling.
The blow pop.
Or has to be like you're there for the middle stuff. You're not there for the outside stuff.
How about crossing guard parent? It's constantly helping their kids transition from one thing to another.
Ooh.
Stopping, removing all the barricades in their path, maybe.
Right.
Stopping anything that could get in their way.
That's kind
Getting
of
run over by people who don't care.
right. The ones in my community tend to wear like neon yellow clothing from head to toe. The crossing guards. So I don't know if that's going to be part of the deal.
Well, that could go back to the circus clown
Yes,
parents. It's,
exactly.
you can get all the trouble out of their way. You can smooth your children's path, and they're still going to say you're embarrassing me. Go away.
You look ridiculous.
Stop those cars so that I can cross, and then get out of my
Quickly
face.
hide.
Oh, the podcast parent who's always constantly broadcasting all the embarrassing things you've done.
Yeah.
Oh.
And who says, no, I can't help you now, or no, you can't use your computer right now because I'm recording. Go away.
Get off my bandwidth, kid.
Exactly.
Who cares about your homework?
How about the hardcover parent?
Oh,
What is that?
Tough on the outside, but actually, quite, fun and enjoyable once you get to know them on the inside.
depending on the kind of book you've got.
Right.
Maybe
Depending.
scary on the inside.
That could be
Glossy and attractive, but
a tough exterior.
it's a Stephen King book. Yeah, tough exterior.
It's like the
What
walnut
would you call-
parent or something.
Yes.
Yeah. What would you call some of the parents who harassed you when you were a teacher, Nicole? Do you have good stories
I don't think that's appropriate.
Difficult parents? Nicole demurs.
Oh, yeah.
I know how I'm pretty sure that there's people who've given me names.
You know, yeah. It was just more like, it wasn't so much a name, it was just a reaction, like, oh God, here she comes again.
Not that one.
I've gone home for the day.
Right.
What name do we call the parent who volunteers for everything?
Oh, the like arms, hand raised parent.
Yes.
Yeah. The pick-me parent.
Pick-me parent. There you go. Yes.
Excellent. You got it.
Living vicariously through the kid by
I'll do it.
Volunteering for absolutely everything. I have possibly been that parent.
Which is good, because then you have parents like me who refuse to go on field trips.
What do we call you, Nicole?
Yes.
The
teacher parent.
We need to. What is the thing that sticks their head in the sand?
Ostrich.
The ostrich parent. Need help?
Yeah.
Nope. I'm not here.
Nope,
You don't see
not
me.
here. Don't look at me.
Invisible.
You don't see me.
I didn't hear about that. I didn't see that. I didn't get that message.
You don't see me.
I like it.
Ostrich parent. The banshee parent. The screaming banshee.
Oh, boy.
Yes, I have had people interpret me as that, but yeah, the one that most parents are going, will you just be quiet? You're ruining it for everybody.
Yes.
We got some good ones here.
I think we do. It's kind of fun. I see why so many people want to do it.
So we'll go to our speed round. And for our topic today, I was thinking about, because the other day my son was working on some homework and I was helping him with some of it. And then he was moving on to math. And I said, well, if you have any questions, ask your sister, because she will know much better than I will how to do that. So it got me wondering about what your kids may have learned from each other, or what you wish they might have or will learn from each other at some point.
Yes.
I mean, math is a, pretty concrete, like, it could certainly be something very different. I mean, if from the time that they were very little, my daughter has always been really good at just kind of managing my son. Like, she's always been good at just kind of, if he's wound up, helping him calm down or something. She's been good at that.
Yeah.
So I think that's been a nice thing as part of their relationship. But are there other things that you've noticed or that you've kind of hoped for in your family, Terri?
Well, I'm hoping that my daughter will teach my son to drive, or at least help him go through the manual, because that's the sticking point here. He's ready to learn to drive, and he wants to get in a car. And it's like, unfortunately, before you can get in a car, you have to study this book and take a test, and that is not of interest. So one day I said, sit down with your sister. She knows all this stuff more recently than your dad and me. And they sat down for a couple of hours together and were really studying it. And that was months ago, and it hasn't happened again. But
it was a start.
We keep thinking, this would be good. You both have a lot of time on your hands. Sit down together, study the book. But I know when they were littler, we adopted them both at the same time from the same orphanage. My son was much younger, and I don't think my daughter had been with the younger kids, and the younger kids hadn't been with the older kids. So I think they kind of learned about different ages of kids from each other. They sort of learned how to relate in a family from each other a little bit. I remember my son... my daughter, for a while, she would throw a lot of tantrums and she would cry, and he would look at her with such fascination, like she was a scientific study. Like, this is interesting. This child, cries. I wonder what makes her cry. Let me poke her in the arm. Does that make her cry? You'd be like, this is a phenomenon I have not previously seen. So that was kind of fun, watching them learn from each other that way a little bit. And I do also think my daughter has as you say, sort of like what you say, Catherine, that she's sometimes better at handling him than we are. You know, it was always easier for her to get him out of bed in the morning because he would just go back to sleep if I said something. But if his sister came and said something, he would get out of bed. So they still, you know, do that together sometimes and handle each other. He's always sticks up for her very much if she's having a problem. So they kind of have each other's backs in a very sweet way. So I guess those are some things that I would say. It's not been anything real concrete in terms of like teaching academic subjects and stuff, but learning about living and people with different temperaments.
Important, right? How about you, Nicole?
Trying to think about my kids because they're 5 years apart. And with my son being the oldest, and I wonder if he had, you know, if the genders had been reversed, there might have been a little bit more interaction. Like maybe Catherine's kids or your kids, Terri. But with the son being older, he hasn't really taught her much other than how to do.
What not to do.
What not to do, you know. How to not get caught sneaking out. Or how to
She taking notes?
Speed in no speeding zones. Or how to... I feel like the things that she's learned that have been, you know, not that she's a bad kid or anything. I just feel like my son kind of encourages her to live a little, live on the wild side.
Not helpful,
so I don't
son.
think it's necessarily productive. Although I guess she is, you know, learning how you can do different things,
right?
Different ways of doing things. But I mean, he's been, I guess maybe he's been a good role model in the sense like he works hard at school and plays his guitar. You know, he's got some hobbies that he's really passionate about. So, and she's seen that and has been, she hasn't really looked up to him like, oh, I want to be just like Josh. It's been like more like, oh, I want to do better than Josh.
Well, that works.
That works, you know, whatever works, right?
Did you guys both have brothers and sisters growing up? I can't remember.
Yes, I'm the oldest. So they all had to follow me.
Yes. Do you feel like they learned from you and you learned from them? Because I never had that experience, really.
Yeah, that's a good question. I
learned jealousy and resentment, but that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, we were very close together, you know, 3 of us in less than 4 years. So, you know, you had to learn how to jump in and get what you need. And, you know, there's definitely, I think I've said this before, when there's 3, there's always like a 2 against 1 situation happening.
Right.
So you learn how to stick up for yourself sometimes. And you learn how to gang up on another person by, you know, roping in a comrade. So
life lessons.
Yeah, exactly.
Nicole, did you have siblings?
I did have I have a younger brother. And we're also 5 years apart, and I feel like we didn't really have much to do with each other. I don't know if it's just the age gap or not, but I mean, we didn't really spend a lot of time growing up when we were growing up together.
Yeah, that's a pretty big span.
Yeah, not as big as 18 years with mine, but
that is
still,
true.
When you're little, it's not. If you're constantly at an age where a younger sibling is a nuisance or an embarrassment, you're not going to have those experiences together.
And I first moved away from home when I was 18, so he was 13. So it didn't really, I wasn't there for his teen years, or I didn't have a lot of mentoring opportunities. I mean, we didn't really spend a lot of time together. So
my sister never seemed to feel any particular need to mentor me that I can remember anyway. But I was pretty bossy. I probably wasn't interested.
Yeah, and that's really, I mean, that's just huge. 18 years. Like,
Yes.
Very different.
Yes. Yeah. Well, glad mine have at least somewhat closer. I often feel they don't really do all that much together either, but somewhat some shared experiences anyway.
True. All right. Well, remember that you can hear a new speed round every Wednesday through Friday.
Hi, we hope you're enjoying this episode of Parenting Roundabout. We're not one of those podcasts that's trying to sell you websites or mattresses or meal kits. I mean, we totally would, but no one's asked us yet.
There is, however, something you can do that costs you nothing, but will put a little change in our pockets. Listen to our podcast on the Radio Public app. Download the app to your iPhone or Android device and listen to Parenting Roundabout there, and we'll get paid for each listen. Plus a little more if you listen a lot.
We think you'll enjoy listening to all your podcasts on this app, but if you could at least listen to Parenting Roundabout there, we'd be very grateful. Now, back to the episode.
And now we bring you some of the things that we've read or seen or used recently that we want to shout out and share with you. I'll just quickly go first because we were talking about this earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Catherine has this keyboard that she...
Would you like me to demonstrate? Should I put in some right now? Here we go.
Please.
Yes.
Okay, there it was.
Okay.
Awesome.
Very nice. The soothing sound of obsolete technology.
I made the comment that feels like it's an ASMR video to me, and Catherine and Terri weren't quite sure what I was talking about, but it's become a very big thing on YouTube these days where people are posting videos of different sounds that they're making and or things, different kind of things that elicit response from other people. So like a pleasurable kind of, it just makes you feel good, or it makes you feel calm, or it soothes you, or whatnot. So I think I'm going to share that with you today. So you can check out this link that I'm going to share, and it has a collection of ASMR videos, which is short for, quickly let me get, Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response. And you can have a look, learn more about it on the link that I share. So
okay. And when Catherine puts hers up, we'll send you the link. In the meantime, you can just play that little passage over and over and over again.
There you go. How about you, Terri?
Well, I've been sharing here some book. I've been on a listening book spree since I joined Audible, and I also have been looking at my library. The library app on your phone, you can also check out audiobooks from there. So periodically I put something on hold that's already checked out, and then it drops on your phone and it says you have, 7 days to listen to this, and then it disappears. So I always feel like I have to drop everything and listen to it. So the latest one to drop onto my phone that way was Yes, Please by Amy Poehler. Sort of a biography / humor book, but mostly, has a lot of stuff about her life, and I enjoyed it very much. It was very fun to hear her reading it, and she also has various guests who come on to read things and to talk to her. So it's very fun to listen to as an audiobook, and if you enjoy her work and have a Parks and Rec fan or Saturday Night Live, there's a lot of stuff about those things there and about her upbringing and various things in her life. So it's a very enjoyable listen. I would recommend.
Good. And how about you, Catherine?
I just wanted to mention this fundraising app that I have been using for our figure skating club, and it's called HuTerra, HuTerra. And I don't know how common it is around the country, but because basically what it is just you create an account and you have this app, and then when you shop at certain stores and especially restaurants, then you can scan your receipt afterward and earn 1% or whatever of your total for your cause that you're raising money for. So you just have to kind of see if that restaurant that you're visiting is on there, and then you can you're spending the money anyway. It's one of those kind of things. Like if you were already our grocery store does it. So you just have to take a picture of your gigantic 2-foot long grocery store receipt, and then you can earn a little change for your cause. So it's kind of handy.
And now for our final segment today, we're going to do a little shameless self-promotion and direct you to some things on our sites that we think you should take a look at. Nicole, what do you have this week?
Oh, nothing.
She was busy being at the hospital.
Yes.
Yeah, I have done nothing. I've barely posted in the last week. I don't have anything. So if our listeners would just like to go check out all my past things at theinclusiveclass.com, they're more than welcome to.
There you go. Always a good source of info.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have something sort of school-related, too, that I'll mention, which is that, and also not a new thing, but I am slowly trying to rescue from the depths of the internet some things that I wrote for About.com or that I did for About.com and that are no longer on that site. So one of the things I have dredged up and put on my Facebook group is a set of coupons to give to teachers as gifts. Some of them are, serious, like it's good for a free book for your classroom library, or it's good for, a snack for a party or something like that. And some of them are funny, like, good for one apology from me when I step out of line, or, different fun things to give to teachers. So if you are approaching a teacher birthday, or you're thinking about what you're going to give to all those professionals for Christmas, which is coming sooner than we can possibly imagine, you might want to go check those out, look through them, and print and clip a few. And Catherine, what do you have?
This is something I just discovered recently, that at least in Apple Podcasts, which you shouldn't be using to listen to our podcast, just saying, you should be listening to Radio Public. But in case you listen to Apple Podcasts for our podcast or other ones, you can easily send an episode to a friend. And I would love it if people would send one of ours to a friend. It's in the little, 3 dots up by each podcast episode, you can choose a little export. And I had an episode that I was listening to of something, and I thought one of my friends would enjoy it, and I just texted it to her. So it's
very nice,
kind of fun and handy.
Yeah.
So if everybody out there sent our podcast to a friend, wouldn't that be nice?
Definitely. And while you are there in Apple Podcasts to take advantage of this wonderful feature, write us a little review or just click some stars, You don't have to go too crazy. Just tell everybody how wonderful we are in more than one way at once. It's multitasking. Right. You'll love it.
So efficient.
Yes. Well, that's it for this week's episode of Parenting Roundabout. We hope you enjoyed it and that you'll join us every week. You can listen to podcast episodes on Radio Public or download them from Apple Podcasts. Please subscribe so that you get all of our podcasts and mini podcasts.
You can also follow us on Twitter, where I am at Nicole Erdix, Catherine is at CHaleko, and Terri is at Momitude. You can also follow the podcast on Twitter at Roundabout Chat, and look for us on Facebook, Pinterest, Tumblr, YouTube, and Instagram too.
Best of all, stop by our podcast page at parentingroundabout.com and read recaps, find links on everything we've mentioned, and talk back in the comments. Thanks to John Morin at johnjmorin.com for providing our in and out music. And I wish everyone a great week.